Hi, I'm Matt from Mac Talks Racing. This will be my podcast / just F1 channel in general. I wanted to film a little intro. I'll include my Japanese Grand Prix predictions at the end. I got into F1 almost a year ago. The first race I ever watched was Miami 2024. I didn't even stay till the end, so I did not know that Lando won until I saw TikToks, and that's when I was like really hooked. I found F1 in like a really rough patch of my life. I had just gotten out of the Navy, shoving everyone away from me. I was very mentally ill, very depressed, and F1 has like given me life again. But F1 has given me hope that there's more to life and that I actually know what I want to do in my life. I've been to one race. It was COTA in 24, obviously. I went with my dad, who has been a lifelong F1 fan, and we do have a little sort of rivalry going on where he is a huge Red Bull fan and I am obviously a huge Ferrari fan. But COTA podium made all of our days. So I am going to the Miami GP this year to celebrate my 1 year of being in love with this beautiful sport with my boyfriend of 2.5 years. It's a little birthday present that I'm also paying for. I'm also going to COTA later in the year that my dad is paying for, and that is now our thing. We're from Texas, but last year was the first year that my dad could ever go, just because they were having a Father's Day sale, and I got tickets for him. But what really got me into F1 was I came home from work one day. I was working at daycare, and my dad was watching NASCAR, which I guess they're both motorsports, but no correlation. Had to be March or April. Someone had crashed, which they were all fine. And I was like, how do you protect yourself from not getting injured? Because these cars are going fast. And he explains it, and then he was like, if you think that's a bad crash, you should watch F1. Crazy way. Crazy. So he showed me Romain Grosjean's crash and Zhou Guanyu's crash, and I was hooked. Not hooked because I want to see people crash, but hooked because being able to engineer something like that was insane to me. So obviously I started watching around Miami. I obviously rep Ferrari. Within Ferrari, I rep Charles Leclerc the most, but I am always supporting Lewis Hamilton. Also, I'm always rooting for Ollie Bearman and Esteban Ocon. And then I want Max Verstappen to do well, but I don't want him to finish ahead of my guy. So ideally, Charles Lewis 1, 2, Ollie 3, Esteban 4, Max 5 would be the perfect top 5 finish. I don't know, I think it's pretty obvious who I rep. I have lots of Ferrari gear. Most of my posters are Ferrari. I do have a couple. The reason this doesn't have a number on it is because number caps are so much more expensive than just regular orders. So I wanted to save a buck, and I just got regular. I also, along with repping Ferrari, I rep Haas, and ideally I would love to be an engineer for one of the two teams. I'm currently getting a degree in mechanical engineering, working on my associates right now, but eventually I will transfer to a university where I can finish my bachelor's degree. I also would like to get a master's in aerospace. That way I can do both, but mechanical right now, and the goal is to work with Ferrari or Haas. Or really any team is the goal, but my goals with this podcast, YouTube channel, whatever, just talk about F1. Honestly, I love to talk about F1. Everyone in my life is tired of me talking about F1, so y'all get to hear me talk about F1. So now we're gonna go to Japan predictions, because I am notoriously wrong, and this may be the biggest jinx, because if you look at my TikTok, which I'll link below, you will see for Australia I said Charles Leclerc win. We did not get that. And I just didn't even do one for China because I was so embarrassed. So for pole, I think it's going to be Lando. McLaren obviously has the quickest car on a one-lap basis. So it's either going to be Lando or Oscar's going to take his second pole position. I think George Russell will end up winning just because it's supposed to rain and McLaren doesn't have the best rain strategy. So I think George Russell will get his first win of the season. I think that he'll have multiple, but this will be the first one. Podium, I will say, is George Russell, obviously, P2 Oscar Piastri, P3 Max Verstappen. P3 for Max only because it's raining, as in that's the best the RB21 is gonna get up. Don't want to talk about where Ferrari will be because I will jinx it. I think if it rains, there's gonna be 4 DNFs, and if it isn't, if it's a dry race, I think there will be 1 other. I do think it will be rainy. That's what all the reports are saying. Driver of the day, hometown boy Yuki Tsunoda, Red Bull debut. I would love a podium for him, but again, I cause generational jinxes, so we're not putting him on the podium. just because I want my podium to be wrong. But I do think he has so much support in Japan and just across, like, everyone wants him. Everyone wanted him in Red Bull. He's making his debut Red Bull race at his home race. I think he will do just fine, and I really hope he gets driver of the day. I think traditions continue from these last 2 races. Ferrari will have the fastest pit stop of the race, and I think fastest lap will be a McLaren. I'm not sure which one though. What are y'all's predictions? Let me know. But I will come back next Friday to talk about how those went and then my Bahrain predictions. Yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know, like, if y'all want any specific videos, and I'm totally down to make them. Thank y'all for watching.